held its first debate over the weekend.
The economy is expected to expand 2.5% this year.
Korea's ties with its global partners on the sidelines of the status UN summit. A massive drone attack on Ukraine overnight on Monday and Tuesday.
Arirang.
Hello and welcome to our morning edition of Arirang News. We begin with these stories making the headlines at this hour. The world's top decision-making body on cultural and natural heritage has officially begun its annual meeting in Busan. This is the first time that South Korea is hosting the meeting since it joined the UNESCO World Heritage Convention almost 4 decades ago, in 1988. Tensions are escalating in the Middle East after a U.S. service member was killed in an Iranian attack in northern Iraq. This comes just a day after an attack on a base in Jordan killed 2 American service members and left another missing. Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 to win the World Cup for the second time in its history. After a full 90 minutes without a goal, Ferran Torres found a breakthrough in extra time to seal the victory. We begin this morning in South Korea's port city of Busan, where the world's top decision-making body on cultural and natural heritage has officially begun its annual meeting. For the first time since joining the World Heritage Convention in 1988, South Korea is hosting the UNESCO World Heritage Committee, bringing together delegates from around the globe. Our culture correspondent Choe starts us off.
The 48th session of the UNESCO World Heritage Committee officially opened in Busan on Sunday, marking the first time South Korea has hosted the organization's annual meeting. Nearly 3,000 delegates from 196 UN member states, as well as international organizations and NGOs, are taking part in the 10-day session at Bexco. The opening ceremony showcased Korea's cultural heritage through performances inspired by traditional rituals and dances.
It is meaningful that this session is hosted by the Republic of Korea. The country counts 17 properties inscribed on the World Heritage List, reflecting the depth of Korean history and diversity. Together, your sites speak to universal questions: how societies remember, how they live with nature, how they transmit knowledge.
K-pop artist G-Dragon, serving as honorary ambassador for the committee, also called on the international community to work together to protect heritage threatened by conflict and climate change.
Protecting heritage is not simply about preserving the past. It's about building peace for the future. I believe art, too, can play a powerful role in protecting the world heritage of tomorrow.
Beginning on Monday, delegates will begin reviewing 33 proposals, including 30 new nominations and 3 requests to modify existing World Heritage listings. One of those requests is South Korea's proposal to expand the Ketbal, Korean tidal flats World Heritage Site. The delegates will also discuss the proposed Busan Declaration, which aims to add collaboration to UNESCO's existing 5 strategic priorities of credibility, conservation, capacity building, communication, and community. Over the next 10 days, this venue will become the center of discussions on the future of World Heritage. Delegates from nearly 200 nations will review on how existing sites are being protected, decide on new heritage sites, and tackle critical threats like the climate crisis. 정혜림, Arirang News, Busan.
So as UNESCO's World Heritage Committee opened its annual session in Busan, President Lee Jae-myung promised to cooperate with the international community to defend world heritage and peace. Our top office correspondent Yoon Jung-min reports.
working toward a peaceful future through global solidarity during times of division. That was the core message by President Lee Jae-myung speaking at the opening ceremony of the 48th session of the World Heritage Committee on Sunday in Busan. He took note of this year's meeting taking place in South Korea as UNESCO commemorates the 150th anniversary of the birth of independence activist Baekbom Kim-gu, adding that his recognition of culture and peace aligns with UNESCO's spirit of constructing the defenses of peace.
높은 문화의 힘을 바탕으로 인류의 소중한 유산을 함께 지키고 세계의 평화와 번영에 기여하는 나라로 백범 선생의 뜻을 이어가겠습니다.
The president also highlighted the remarkable economic growth Korea has achieved through international cooperation, noting that it has transformed itself into a cultural powerhouse that connects with people around the world.
원조를 받던 나라에서 원조를 하는 나라로 나아가 문화의 가치를 함께 나누는 나라로 성장한 우리 대한민국의 여정은 협력과 연대가 만들어낸 인류 공동의 성공 사례라고 자부합니다.
He called the country's southeastern city of Busan a living proof of how international cooperation can change the destiny of a city, saying that the city has risen from the ashes of the Korean War and grown into a global maritime city. On Sunday, Lee and UNESCO Director General Khaled Al-Anani discussed bolstering the partnership between Korea and UNESCO, noting cooperation in the areas of education, culture, and science. The UNESCO chief toured the K Heritage House exhibition hall along with President Lee and First Lady Kim Hae-kyung. Yoon Jung-min, Arirang News.
Over in the Middle East, the breakdown of last month's ceasefire has triggered a fresh wave of attacks across the region. Washington and Tehran are now trading increasingly far-reaching strikes, with reports of more U.S. casualties. Our Oh Soo-young reports.
A U.S. service member has been killed in northern Iraq while disposing of an unexploded Iranian attack drone. U.S. Central Command says the service member died Saturday during the controlled detonation of ordnance carried by the downed one-way drone. The incident came after 2 other American service members were killed in an Iranian attack in Jordan on Friday. Another was reported missing, although unidentified remains have since been recovered and are being examined. The latest casualties bring the number of U.S. troops killed since the war began in February to 17, with more than 420 wounded. In Iran, according to the country's health authorities, at least 50 people have been killed and more than 500 injured in U.S. strikes over the past 3 weeks. Strikes between the U.S. and Iran reached an 8th consecutive night. U.S. Central Command says the operation targeted coastal surveillance and air defense facilities, aiming to weaken Iran's ability to threaten commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz and punish Revolutionary Guard forces for the attack in Jordan. But Tehran says one of the strikes hit the construction site of the Darkover nuclear power plant in the southwestern province of Khuzestan. Iran's Atomic Energy Organization says the site was struck by several projectiles early Sunday, condemning the attack as a violation of international law and vowing to pursue those responsible. The United States has yet to confirm it targeted the facility. The International Atomic Energy Agency says it is investigating the report. The UN watchdog says the plant remains at a very early stage of construction and contained no nuclear material, meaning there is no radiological risk. Iran, meanwhile, has continued its retaliation across the region. Tehran says it attacked American military assets at 2 bases in Kuwait, while Kuwait reported another strike on a desalination facility. Bahrain intercepted a separate Iranian attack, and Jordan says it shot down 3 missiles. The escalation follows the collapse of an interim ceasefire reached last month. With U.S. strikes extending deeper into Iran, Tehran attacking American forces and Washington's regional partners, and both sides confronting shipping in the Strait of Hormuz, concerns continue over the cycle of retaliation across the region. Oh Soo-young, Arirang News.
And now for more on the latest situation in the Middle East, we're joined today by Professor Mohammad Gura, Professor of Middle East Economics at Hanguk University of Foreign Studies. Professor Gura, thanks for coming on today.
My pleasure.
So the U.S. military says a service member was killed after an Iranian attack in northern Iraq, and this comes a day after an attack in Jordan killed 2 U.S. soldiers. So how might these attacks affect the course of this war going forward?
Well, already the U.S. media and the U.S. government is saying that it's retaliating against such kind of aggression. So U.S. is using this more or less as an alibi to continue its strikes on Iran. We have to remember it's now 9 days since this wave of strikes. U.S. would not stop soon, and actually, to be honest with you, nobody knows what's the end game for the U.S. With these strikes, President Trump said that he's trying to push Iran to sit on the negotiating table, but still, it's not really clear what's the end game. And the problem is that this kind of conflict between the two sides, it can lead to miscalculations, which can lead to a full-fledged conflict and more war in the near future. So we have to wait and see what will happen. But considering the killing of the U.S. soldiers, I think this kind of attacks and this kind of casualties will continue to increase on both sides. Of course, Iran is suffering more, but we'll have to wait and see what will happen the next few days.
Right. And Iran's Supreme Leader Mojtaba Khamenei says Trump's signature is worthless and invalid and accused the U.S. of repeatedly violating the deal signed last month. So what does this tell us about Iran's thinking?
That's a great question. Actually, we have to remember that usually the Iran Supreme Leader so far, his speeches and his rhetoric is usually aimed at the domestic public. So he's sending a message that he's still there, that he's still capable of communicating, that he's still on top of things. Also, one other thing is that they want peace, they want negotiations. They are saying that Trump's signature is worthless and invalid. So that means that Iran wants to go for diplomacy. But the thing is, it's not really clear if Iran really wants to do this. I mean, at the same time, the strikes against Arab and Gulf countries is actually increasing. So Iran is giving two rhetoric at the same time, two speeches, one with war and another trying to get into diplomacy. It's very frustrating, to be honest, but again, this is the sign of times, it seems.
Right. And Kuwait says one of its main facilities was hit in an Iranian strike. And I understand this damaged one of the key sources of drinking water in that small desert nation. So how serious is this, both for Kuwait and for the broader regional economy?
This is absolutely serious. We have to remember that 90% of water, drinking water and water for Kuwait is coming from desalination. So this kind of attacks is really very, very hard to accept. And to be honest with you, I mean, I've been following Arab media and Gulf media. There is huge amount of fury and rage against Iran. It's not really clear why Iran is trying to do this. Of course, they are trying to do this to send a message that U.S. cannot protect you and so on. But if Iran wants to do this, why do you want to shoot your allies? I mean, Oman and Jordan and Kuwait and so on. So far, we didn't get any problems with them. You know, if you're, and Arabs are saying, if you are so powerful, why don't you try to hit Israel instead? So there is huge amount of rage, huge amount of saddened emotions towards Iran. And I think the situation will start to increase from now on to a series of problems that we cannot stop. So we will have to wait and see what will happen.
I see. And for countries outside the Middle East, one of the biggest concerns is the energy concerns. So how do you see the situation around the Strait of Hormuz unfolding from here?
Unfortunately, this is bad news for everybody. So far, we have to remember that the oil prices, although it increased significantly, but the amount of increase is not yet what we have estimated. And when I was talking about I'm saying economists. Economists estimated that the amount of increase in prices is much more than that. This is because mainly this price did not increase because China cut off its imports of oil. Also, OPEC countries increased their exports of oil, but this kind of behavior is not sustainable. We have to remember this. The oil prices, if the war continues to be like that, if the conflict continues to be like that, it will increase tremendously, and it will affect everybody here in Korea, in the Middle East, in Iran, in US, in Europe. So this is bad news for everybody. This inflation wave will really hit us very hard by the fall if this kind of conflict will stop. So we have to hope that this kind of conflict stops, that negotiations start, that we have a new page, that we have a new start. But so far, things are a little bit on the downside. So I just hope that things are getting better in the future.
Right. We'll have to wait and see. All right, Professor Gura, thank you so much for coming on today. We appreciate it.
Thank you. My pleasure.
A major fire at a Coupang logistics center in the city of Incheon remains ablaze for a third day, with crews facing the risk of the building collapsing. According to the Incheon Fire Department, the fire at a Coupang logistics center has remained active for more than 47 hours as of 6 a.m. on Monday. The blaze began on the 6th floor shortly before 7 a.m. on Saturday. Authorities have deployed 812 personnel and 231 vehicles, but flammable materials and the building's complex interior are hampering efforts. An evacuation order covers businesses and factories within 160 meters of the center's ramp area. Meanwhile, 168 residents have taken shelter at 2 nearby schools due to smoke and dust concerns. 31 nurseries and a nearby primary school have also been advised to close for the day. Russian President Vladimir Putin met North Korean Foreign Minister Son-hui during her visit to Russia on Saturday. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Putin thanked North Korea's leadership once again for supporting what Moscow called a special military operation in Ukraine, saying the contributions of North Korean troops would never be forgotten by Russia. Putin also thanked Choe to convey his warm regards to North Korean leader Kim Jong-un, saying he highly values the strong mutual understanding the two leaders have built. Choe, meanwhile, said Kim has reaffirmed his strategic commitment to further expanding ties with Russia. It's Choe's first visit to Russia in about 9 months, following her previous visit in October last year. Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 on Sunday to win the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The win marks Spain's second World Cup title. The final also saw both actress Son-hui and global K-pop group BTS make an appearance. Our Lee Seung-jae reports.
Spain defeated Argentina 1-0 at the New York, New Jersey Stadium on Sunday to win the 2026 FIFA World Cup. Spain controlled the match from start to finish, preventing Argentina from having a single shot on target. The defensive masterclass was a fitting end to a remarkable campaign in which Spain conceded just 1 goal throughout the tournament. However, the decisive moment came in the 106th minute of extra time when Ferran Torres found the breakthrough against a 10-man Argentina, sealing a 1-0 victory and Spain's World Cup triumph. The World Cup victory marked Spain's second title, having previously won the 2010 World Cup in South Africa. Meanwhile, actress Son-hui and K-pop supergroup BTS made appearances at the 2026 FIFA World Cup final. Chung took part in the pre-match trophy presentation as a global ambassador for Louis Vuitton, appearing alongside Spanish tennis star Carlos Alcaraz. The pair opened the Louis Vuitton trophy case before unveiling the FIFA World Cup trophy to the crowd. At halftime, BTS took the stage as one of the performers in the tournament's first ever World Cup final halftime show, sharing the spotlight with global stars including Madonna, Justin Bieber, and Shakira. The group energized the stadium with a performance of its hit song Dynamite. Member Jungkook also marked a World Cup milestone, having performed Dreamers, the official soundtrack of the 2022 Qatar World Cup, at the 2022 opening ceremony, before returning 4 years later to perform at the final on Sunday. Lee Seung-jae, Arirang News.
Good morning, I'm Chu Ji-hyun, and this is The World Now. Andy Burnham takes office as Britain's Prime Minister on Monday, replacing Keir Starmer as leader of the governing Labour Party. Burnham, the former mayor of Greater Manchester, was declared Labour leader on Friday after running unopposed to replace Starmer, who resigned after 2 years following a fall in popularity and a rebellion within his own party. Burnham will be Britain's 7th Prime Minister since 2016. His office says one of his first moves will be scrapping a planned digital ID scheme originally designed to curb illegal migration and redirecting the funding toward cost of living support. In Peru, at least 6 people have been killed and 21 injured after 2 earthquakes struck a mountainous region on Saturday night. The quakes hit Chupaca province in the Junin region, about 300 kilometers east of Lima. Peru's National Seismological Center measured them at magnitudes 5.1 and 3.7, while the European Mediterranean Seismological Center reported the first at magnitude 5.6. Peru's civil defense head said about 48 homes have been destroyed and another 18 damaged, affecting roughly 300 people who are being sheltered in tents. Emergency crews were clearing debris Sunday amid concern that more victims could be trapped. In the U.S., social media influencers Andrew and Tristan Tate have been arrested after British prosecutors brought 38 new charges against them, including rape and human trafficking. The arrests made in Miami bring the total number of charges against the Tates to 59. The UK's Crown Prosecution Service said it filed the new charges after identifying 4 additional victims. Andrew Tate, 39, faces 7 further counts of rape along with sex trafficking charges, while Tristan Tate, 38, faces 2 counts of rape and 3 counts of trafficking for sexual exploitation. Britain is seeking to extradite the brothers, who hold dual U.S. and British citizenship and deny all wrongdoing. The brothers also face separate criminal proceedings in Romania, where they have been under investigation since 2022. A leather jacket belonging to Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang has been sold at auction for $960,000. The Tom Ford jacket drew 65 bids from 45 collectors at Sotheby's on Friday. It sold for more than 15 times its pre-sale estimate of $40,000 to $60,000. The jacket was authenticated using photo matching to footage of Huang wearing at a Foxconn event in Taipei in October 2023. Huang has worn similar leather jackets for more than a decade at Nvidia product launches and conferences. Proceeds from the sale will go to a philanthropic initiative supporting a nonprofit that organizes gatherings for people in tech, science, and culture.
Most of the central regions woke up to another rainy morning. Heavy rain has been falling across the capital area in Jeollabuk-do province and will spread to more regions as the day goes on. Central regions could see 20 to 80 millimeters of rainfall, and southern provinces could see 5 to 40 millimeters, with more breaks in the rain, which will bring hot and humid conditions. So a heat wave advisory is in place for most of southern provinces, with temperatures forecast to hover above 33 degrees Celsius this afternoon. In fact, Daegu, Gyeongju, and Gwangju will make it to 33 degrees. Seoul will be topping out at 28 degrees Celsius. The monsoon rain will continue throughout the week. And with the ground already saturated, the risk of landslides and additional flood damage remains quite high. So if you're having an early summer vacation, avoid valleys, rivers, and mountainous areas, and continue to stay aware of the weather conditions.
That's all we have for this morning. Arirang News will be back at noon Korea time. Thanks for watching.
우선 저희 누나가 발레를 하다 보니까 자연스럽게 누나 발레 학원에 따라가서 누나가 하는 모습을 보니까 저도 하고 싶다고 생각이 조금 들어서 발레 음악에 맞춰서 아무 춤이나 추다 보니까 그냥 그 음악에 맞춰서 제가 몸을 움직이는 게 재밌다고 느껴졌었는지 발레를 계속 하고 있더라고요. 나이가 좀 어릴 때 제가 가진 장점이 무엇인지도 모르고 아예 제가 가진 단점도 모를 때 발레를 시작했다 보니까 제일 큰 문제가 이제 평발이었던 것 같아요. 평발이다 보니까 발레를 할 때 쥐가 조금 많이 나는 편이라 그거를 견뎌가면서 춤을 계속 춰야 했던 거 그게 가장 극복하기 힘들었던 것 같고요. 제가 다리가 다른 친구들보다 조금 두껍다고 해서 제 다리를 조금 싫어했었는데 근데 이제 로잔에 갔다 오고 나서 오히려 제 다리에서 나오는 파워풀한 힘이 좋았다고 해주시는 분들도 있다는 걸 느껴가지고 그 두 개가 가장 극복하기도 힘들었고 기억에 남는 것 같아요. 프릭스티 로잔이라는 콩쿨 자체가 학생들 사이에서는 가장 크고 의미 있는 콩쿨이다 보니 제가 그 로잔 영상을 보면서 자라왔기 때문에 그 무대에 서서 제가 춤을 췄다는 것 자체가 엄청 인상 깊었던 것 같아요. 제가 걸어왔던 길, 이게 맞는 방법일까? 근데 그런 의구심을 다 없앨 수 있게 제가 가는 길이 맞았다라는 거를 확인시켜줬던 것 같아요. 그래서 그런 감정이 들어서 조금 감격스러웠던 것 같아요. 한 배역에만 잘 할 수 있는 명수가 아니라 어떠한 배역을 받아도 다 넣어서 소화해낼 수 있는 그런 스펙트럼이 넓은 명수가 되고 싶습니다.
to bring a new type of news show.
New insights, new styles, and new topics every day.
We are News Generation.
Bringing news just for you. It's Monday, July 20th here in Seoul. I'm Isujin, and this is News Generation. Joining us today is Luan. Good to have you, and also Kyun's with us.
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. And both are here to speak on behalf of people in their 20s and 30s. So we're at the start of a new work week, and summer is making its presence very much felt. With scorching temperatures and heavy humidity becoming the daily norm, even a simple commute can feel quite exhausting. So today, we're going to start off by putting two of summer's most uncomfortable situations head to head. So Luan, I have a would you rather for you. So would you rather walk under the blazing sun without a parasol or ride a sweltering subway without a handheld fan?
I really don't want to experience like both of them. No, thank you. But if I have to choose, as a French person who lived in the countryside without subway and had to walk everywhere, I prefer to walk like under a blazing sun without a parasol. I'm just used to walk everywhere, and I think if I am trapped in the subway with like a lot of people, I will just panic and faint. I prefer to die under the sun, surrounded by beautiful trees and flowers, than surrounded by people.
You'll die with a good view at least.
Yeah.
So in France, I'm guessing people don't usually use parasols, or do you have that?
No, you don't use it. If you use it, people will look at you like.
So people do just walk under the blazing sun.
Yeah.
Wow, okay, I see. So what about you, Q?
It's definitely not the best question to answer on a Monday.
Right,
it's actually raining outside today.
That's true.
But summer here in Korea is becoming more extreme year by year, and I've experienced actually both situations, and it's like choosing which torture sounds better to you. So it's basically like, would you rather go into a wet sauna or a dry sauna?
Right.
Personally, I would rather go into a wet sauna, which is like a sweltering subway without a handheld fan, because like I said, I've been in both situations. I literally felt my skin burning when I was under the scorching, blazing sun, and actually had difficulty breathing, and I felt dizzy. And like, even though I was drinking a lot of water, I didn't feel hydrated. So I have a really bad experience being under the blazing sun. Now, on the other hand, yes, sweating a lot in like a stuffy subway, it can be very uncomfortable. It could be even smelly as well, but like it's a lot more bearable, breathable, and when you actually drink water, after you sweat a lot, when you actually hydrate yourself, you know, it feels much better than just being under the blazing sun. So I think if I have to choose, I'll definitely be in a crowded, sweaty, sticky subway.
And also, I feel like these days, the subway is quite well air conditioned.
Especially in Korea, they're actually quite cold, to be honest. That's why you have to wear a thin jacket just in case. So, I mean, we can't complain.
Right, and you can also check which cars are more air conditioned than others.
Yeah.
That's
that
also
is super
something you can do.
convenient as well,
Right, yeah. So either way, it's hard to win against the heat. So maybe that's exactly why so many people carry summer essentials wherever they go, which we will show a bit later. So we're going to talk more about this, but first, let's take a look at the screen.
As summers seem to get hotter each year, the ways we stay cool are also becoming more advanced. From handheld fans to wearable air conditioners, summer accessories are not only becoming more popular but also smarter and more innovative. And few countries embrace these seasonal essentials quite like Korea. Today on News Generation, we explore Korea's favorite summer must-haves, the latest features consumers are looking for, and the one item each of us cannot get through summer without.
Just as we saw in a video, Koreans have come up with countless ways to beat the summer heat. Some are practical, some are high-tech, and a few might even surprise first-time visitors to Korea. So let's start with introducing some of Korea's most popular summer essentials. So which Korean summer item do you think is the biggest lifesaver during the hot, sweltering summers in Korea?
There are actually many life-saving must-have summer items here in Korea, but I'd like to just introduce just three for now.
Bit of a show and tell.
Yes, as you mentioned earlier, the first one is a handheld fans, portable fans and parasols. Now, let's start with this one. When this first came out, they were actually quite big. It was really loud, the motor sound, and the battery life wasn't that long. So it was convenient, but it wasn't that convenient. But nowadays, as you can see, they're a lot more compact, smaller. They even have this cooling part system.
The best part,
so it's not just air that comes out, it's actually cool air that comes out. And you can even control like how intense you want the air to come out to be. By the way, we're not endorsing this. This is not home shopping, but we're just introducing it how much it has actually improved with technology as well. And there are even portable like smartphone chargers as well, like that's attached to this. And there are even LED screens where you can actually see how much battery is left, so you know when to charge it beforehand as well. Now, there are even like wearable neck handheld neck fans as well, and you can like clip it onto like your bed or desk. You can even like there are stand-up fans as well. So there's so many different types of handheld fans that are very handy. Now with parasols, many, I guess, foreigners might not be familiar with this. They'll probably think it's just an umbrella, but
it's so common in Korea.
It's so common in Korea, especially in summer. You'll see a lot of people just wearing an umbrella under the sunlight, and you'll be thinking, why are they wearing an umbrella when it's not even raining? But these sunshades, they actually protect UV rays from direct sunlight, and studies have shown that it reduces up to 10 degrees in feels-like temperature under direct sunlight. So obviously it's very practical and it helps.
Right.
And for a lot of foreigners who come to Korea and try this for the first time, they'll kind of like cringe, like thinking, what is that? Why are they doing that?
And it can be annoying to carry around, but then you can see how on the inside it's black, so it helps helps you stay cool.
Just pop it in your backpack and pull it out under the direct sunlight, and you feel so much cooler. Now, there's another one that I'd like to introduce. Now, this looks a little, I guess, unique at first, but it's a sun visor, a wide brim sun visor that is actually attached to a face mask. So you pretty much wear it. I don't want to put it on right now, but you'll see a lot of, I guess, older women who actually wear this when they go outdoors, go on a walk or a hike. Not only does it protect you from the sun, but it covers your face as well, and your mouth and nose, which it prevents bugs from actually entering your mouth. And
Very important.
I've actually experienced this before. I love running, and I love running outside. And I've had so many bugs go inside my mouth.
Oh no.
And it's the worst feeling ever. Some people say, hey, it's extra protein for you, but no. There are other good tasting proteins that you can have while I exercise.
So there's a lot of things you can get from this.
Exactly.
And it seems really compact and easy to carry around.
Very easy to carry.
All three of them actually are quite light. Yeah, that sounds good. So I think it's amazing how everyday items have evolved with so many new features and designs, but the innovation doesn't stop there. So what's the coolest new summer item you've seen in Korea recently, Won?
The coolest new summer item I saw in Korea is like the wearable fan vest. It looks like a normal vest, but it has small electric fans built into it that circulate cool air around your body. Some versions even come with ice packs to make them even cooler. It was first popular among outdoor workers, but now people wear them for camping, traveling, or other outdoor activities. And I think it's a really smart way to deal with Korea's increasingly hot summers, and it's something I hadn't seen before.
Fair enough. So
also, I'm wearing beauty sleeves right now, and I came across them in Korea, and they help me to cool down under the blazing sun, and it's really helpful during the hot summer in Korea.
And I haven't even noticed that you have something else on, because it really goes well with your outfit today.
It's like fashion.
It feels really cool and really soft too.
Yeah, I really because of the light, it's really hot right now, but I don't feel hot at all.
It's amazing.
Really cool. I love them. Yeah.
So, and for visitors, they're often unlike anything they've seen back home. So what summer item surprised you most when you first came here?
It's hard to choose. There are too many, but the first one I think of is the cooling body wipes. In Europe, we have wet wipes, but I never seen ones that actually make your skin feel cold. They're designed to instantly cool your skin, so they're perfect for hot and humid weather. The first time I used them, I was honestly surprised by how effective they were. And the second thing was the UV face cover. Like, the first time I saw someone wearing that, my reaction was like, what is that? Because in France, it's not allowed to enter shop with your face fully covered. So I was thinking how they will be able to enter shop. Like, it must be like really annoying to take it off and put it on back anytime. But I understood that they are simply worn to protect the skin from strong UV rays. And after experiencing the Korean summer, it made a lot more sense.
Because it's so hot and so humid.
Yeah. And lastly, it's not a summer item, but it's like seeing air conditioning everywhere. Being from coming from Europe, France, where air conditioning barely exists, it was
we
really...
talked about this the other week.
Yeah.
Right. Tell us more about this, okay?
It's barely like we cannot survive without air conditioning anymore. And like I feel living again back like in Korea.
It must feel so hot when you go back to France then.
Yeah, but at least it's not humid. So if
enough.
I'm going under like in the shadow, I feel like a bit better. Like, cooler.
It's quite interesting.
Yeah,
So this really shows how Korea has turned staying cool into an everyday innovation. What seems perfectly normal here can be a culture shock for first-time visitors. So we were also curious which of these uniquely Korean summer items caught our viewers' attention. So we ran a poll on the Arirang News YouTube channel asking which Korean summer item would you like to try? And here's what the results showed. So among the Korean summer items we asked about, the portable handheld fan came out on top with 37% of respondents saying they'd most like to try one. That was followed by cooling vests, scarves, and arm sleeves at 32%, while sun protection items like parasols and face coverings and visors received 18%. Cooling wipes rounded out the list with 13%. So it's no surprise that the handheld fan came out on top. I personally don't go anywhere without that handheld fan either. You know, it's compact, it's convenient. Once you start using one, it's hard to get through a Korean summer without it, especially when you're planning to walk a long distance. And summer fashion isn't just also about staying cool anymore, it's also about staying protected. So how are then Korea's summer fashion trends changing, Kyun?
In the past, people were more accustomed to wearing less during hotter days, and they preferred to wear, I guess, more revealing outfits as the temperature got hotter. But nowadays, many millennials and Gen Zs are actually going the opposite way. So what they're doing is they're wearing like longer sleeves to actually protect themselves from tanning and sunburns. And they're wearing pretty much fashion that protects their skin from strong UV light is becoming the new kind of stylish new trend right now. And of course, Luan talked about this before as well, the differences in temperatures from being outdoors to indoors, especially in subways and buses. It can get extremely cold, like they just blast out the AC, and if you actually experience a big difference in temperatures, you can actually get sick, catch a cold as well. So people are wearing these long sleeve, like silky, soft, cool material long sleeves to actually not only protect them from the sun, but when they actually go indoors to not feel too cold.
Kind of like what Luan is wearing.
So it's like 2-in-1, and it's also very stylish because I don't think I can pull that off. But Luan, it actually looks like part of your outfit.
It does.
That's what's trending right now.
So it's interesting that covering up is becoming the new way to stay comfortable in the heat, and that shift is changing not only what people wear, but also what's selling in stores. So which summer fashion items are gaining popularity? What's selling out here in Korea these days, Luan?
One of the biggest trends is lightweight clothing that protects you from the sun. Linen shirts and linen cardigans are becoming especially popular because they are breathable and help block UV rays at the same time. We're also seeing more sheer shirts and even summer knitwear, which might sound surprising, but they are made from lightweight materials that keep people cool while covering their skin. It's all part of the 사람 trend, which literally means items that keep your skin from tanning or burning in the sun. Instead of wearing less clothing to stay cool, many people are choosing lightweight, long-sleeved clothes that protect their skin while still keeping them comfortable.
So we talked about various summer items as well as summer fashion trends. And now to get a broader perspective on this, we'll be joined by someone from abroad who has become also a fan of Korea's summer's must-have. So that conversation will take place right after break, so don't go anywhere.
NewsGen wants to hear from you. Go to YouTube and search out channel Arirang News. Click Posts and cast your vote in the poll. Make a new type of news with us.
We're joined now by Burnham from the U.S., who has experienced summers in Korea, the U.S., and now Bali, and has become a fan of Korea's summer essentials. So hello, thank you so much for connecting with us today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying that amazing Korean summer heat. While I'm chilling on the beach over here, I'm good.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about that. So, Brendan, when you first came to Korea, so what summer item surprised you the most, and how does it compare to how people in America, and also I guess Bali, stay cool these days?
Well, as an American, I don't know, I guess, plain, I guess. Most people just go out with like a hat or sunglass. Sometimes they use sunscreen. But when you're in like South Korea, like the skincare capital of the world, people don't play that game. So everyone has like the hat, they're covered, they got the fans. Like I will go to the beach and now I'm like, why are they wearing long sleeves? They're supposed to tan, but they're just trying to protect their skin. Here in Bali, it's a little mixed. We got both foreigner and we have like the native people here. So everybody wears a little bit of different, but most people are wearing shorts and things like that. Yeah.
Oh, wow, thanks, Brandon. Which Korean summer item is your favorite?
Oh, there's so many. Like as we heard, we had the wipes and everything, and you guys said the hand fan, but I'm gonna go with the head fan, the headphone fan, because when you're on the subway, you know it's a little packed. You can't have your hands up, but with the fan around your neck, it just blows up onto you, and you can just be sitting on your phone doing whatever you want. So I think that's probably the best, and they're pretty cheap, affordable. You can get it from any of the online retailers or offline or anything.
I completely agree with the head fan. It's a lifesaver, really. Yeah. Since you're currently living in Bali and have also spent summers in Korea, what's your go-to tip for staying cool in the summer?
Okay, let me think. In Korea, you know, you got like patbinsu, you have like naengmyeon, that's like the traditional kind of food. So if I'm in Korea, that's what I'm eating. But since I'm in Bali right now, I gotta go with coconut. Okay, I love Korea, right? But coconuts are so expensive there. Coconut water, everything's expensive. So here I just eat it every day. It's like chonwon, so I gotta have a coconut a day. And I think's the best thing to cool me down.
So this makes me want to visit Bali now, see you enjoy your summer with the coconuts.
Yes, yes, come and visit. It's great here. You guys can do like a Yohang video next time, visiting Bali.
Definitely. How is the weather like in Bali right now?
Right now it is.
Or is it just kind of like?
We're at 78 Fahrenheit at the moment. It's partially cloudy. So it's not too bad. It doesn't have like, it can be hot, but it's not like really humid sometimes. Okay. Like the sweaty heat, and then they do have like their rainy season, but overall it's been pretty good. There hasn't been any rain for a few days. It's just cool weather. You can walk to the beach, or if you have a villa, go swim in the pool. But right now I'm in air conditioning, so I don't like the heat. I'm always in aircon.
Well, I hope that if it does get hotter, you'll have those Korean summer essentials with you to use.
Yes, definitely. I gotta buy them. I gotta buy some Korean ones and ship them over here because they're like high quality and everything. So, but thank you.
Great. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your insights with us today.
Yes, thank you for having me and have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So we just spoke to someone who has experienced summers in Korea, the U.S., and Bali, sharing what surprised him most about Korean summer items, his favorite must-haves, and his top tip for staying cool. But staying cool isn't just about getting through the day, it's also about getting a good night's sleep. And we know it's so hard to get a good night's sleep when it's hot. So what's Korea's secret to staying cool while you sleep, Kyun?
The heat wave can actually continue after sunset, leading to tropical nights, which Seoul has actually experienced a few weeks ago. And I mean, you're pretty much suffering from heat throughout the whole day. And like at night, you want to have a good night's sleep, but if it's extremely hot and sticky, no, you definitely need to have the AC on. But okay. It'll definitely help you with sleeping, but not with your bills. I mean, once you check your electricity bills, you'll be like, oh, maybe I should use less AC and more just fan. So there have been many bedding products, such as like cooling pillows and cooling mats that actually helps to reduce the temperature by 2 to 3 degrees with your bed. So that can definitely help. And a lot of people actually use it during summer as well, including myself. But one really distinct traditional Korean secret to actually beating the heat at night is a traditional summer sleeping aid called jukbuin. So it's basically a hollow bamboo bolster designed to be hugged while sleeping. So it literally just translates to bamboo wife. So chuk puin means wife, chuk means bamboo. So basically our ancestors actually made this to keep them cool because obviously they didn't have AC back then. But then at the same time, why was it called a wife? Because you can actually...
You're hugging it
during your sleep. So I mean, it's 2-in-1. It keeps you cool and less lonely in bed.
What's not to like about it? So this explains why so many people say a good night's sleep is a key to surviving a heat wave. So while Korea has plenty of creative ways to beat the heat, things can look quite different overseas. So what summer cooling items are popular outside of Korea?
In Europe, we probably don't have as many special summer cooling items as in Korea, but these days the portable electric fans are becoming much more popular, while the traditional hand fans has always been a summer classic. And I think we just have to be a bit more creative in France to survive during the hot summer. One trick I've seen a lot on social media is putting a bowl of ice or even a frozen bottle of water in front or behind an electric fan to make the air feel cooler. And another fun trick is to climb inside a duvet cover, and point the fan into it. The airflow inflates the cover and creates a little bubble of cool air around you. It's really great.
Right, so you mentioned how people overseas are also using portable electric fans. I think I saw a clip that went viral recently. It was like a fashion show in, I think, France, or it was somewhere in Europe. And there was a K-pop idol holding an electric fan, and then everyone else is fanning themselves with just normal paper fans.
Yeah. Like the traditional fan is still number one, but a little bit more and more we can see the electric.
Right, because they're emerging more often. So it'll be interesting to see whether more of these Korean summer essentials catch on around the world. So before we wrap up, let's hear everyone's personal favorite. So Kyun, if you could recommend one summer Korean item, which one would you recommend? What's your favorite?
Mine would be definitely the sunproof face cover because I love outdoor activities, and like I said before, for a lot of many runners, even hikers and people playing golf, you don't want bugs, going to your mouth, So I think for people who actually enjoy outdoor activities, wearing a UV protective face cover is a recommendation.
Right. So what about you, Luan?
I would definitely recommend the cooling body wipes. Before coming to Korea, I remember seeing people in Europe using tissue to wipe away sweat or putting a wet towel on their face when they got home to cool down. Cooling body wipes do both at once. They don't just remove sweat, they instantly cool your skin so you feel refreshed right away. They are also super convenient because you can use them outdoors on public transportation or anywhere you don't have access to a shower. Honestly, once you try them, it's really hard to go back.
Right. So we talked about a lot of high-tech cooling gadgets, also about timeless traditions. Korea's found countless ways to make summer a little more comfortable. It's proved that sometimes the smallest items can make the biggest difference. And judging by today's discussion, some of them may soon become global summer must-haves. And that brings us to the end of today's episode of News Generation. But News Gen will be back tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Korea time with more stories and discussions. A big thanks to Luan.
Thank you for having me here.
And also Kyun.
It's always a pleasure.
And to our viewers, thank you so much for watching. Here's hoping your biggest fan this summer is a handheld one. We are News Generation.
It is not extravagant. It isn't even symmetrical.